Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I have had an interesting day today and I thought I would just tell you guys all about it. And also discuss information about primers, face primers, that you put on underneath your foundation. Because there's a friend of mine that was asking me if I could recommend a good one. And I have a few favorites, so I thought I'd explain what they are, what they do, how they work, how to use them, and good product suggestions. So that's what I'm going to do today. But I'm finally feeling human again. I have developed, I think they call it sciatica, or it's like your sciatic nerve. Back problems, which I've never been much of a back problem person. I can think of one time I did something once a few years ago, and then it was several years before that, but it's never been anything regular or frequent or repetitive. But I have had, it's like that left side, that sciatic nerve, and it comes out of the blue. I never get a warning. I don't know what does it. I will be doing absolutely nothing. The first time it hit, I was putting away nail polish at work. Not like that's heavy. So, I mean, it was just, and I'm standing there and I'm just like, what is that searing pain going down my left side? And it starts in your upper back, and my lower left back, all the way down my left butt cheek and down the back of my leg. And I literally thought somebody shot me. I mean, I was just almost level to the ground, and I ended up having to go home from work about an hour and a half later. I told my poor manager, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm literally standing here trying not to cry. It hurts so bad. So I came home and Jed's like, what are you doing home already? And, managed to hobble in the door, and he could see by the look on my face I was just about ready to keel over and practically die. And I couldn't even walk up the stairs. I could barely sit down to go pee. It was awful. He ended up, long story short, got me on a heating pad on the couch for about 6 hours, and I have to admit a stiff drink because I was in pain. And literally after like 6 hours, I could get up. I had to pee really bad and move without like wanting to fall over. Well, that happened this morning too. I'm trying to get up to go to work, and yeah, I got out of bed about drop me. I mean, I cannot, every time it's happened, it's been for no reason at all. It's nothing in particular I'm doing. I'm not doing anything strenuous. I'm not lifting. I'm not twisting weird. I'm not doing anything. And it just happens. And wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, of course, a busy Saturday, I was going to try and go in tonight. And it's been one of those days, too. There's bad enough the back pain, but everything, whatever has gone on, has gone wrong. So, I'm finally loosened up enough, and I think, screw it, I'm just going to deal with the pain that's left, and can't leave poor Carly alone tonight to close. I'm just going to go in and work for 4 hours and close, and surely I can make it through that. I get out of bed. That was the first success. I took a step, because usually if I take even one step, it'll tell me if I'm okay to continue or not. And I took one step and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe we can do this. So I go pee, come back, and I sit in a beanbag chair in front of my vanity here, so I'm low enough to get at all my stuff to do my makeup and what have you. And that worked out okay. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. And for some reason, and I don't know what I was thinking, I decided, oh, let's do our makeup different today. Let's do this simple, fast, like no makeup, natural, just a few quick things and be out the door. It looked awful. My skin looked awful. It was patchy, splotchy. I was trying to use cream products. Now I know why, again, I don't use cream products. They just do not give the seamless blendability as powder. Even though I'm dry, I figure out how to make powders work, because cream just does not seem to work on my skin. I don't know why. Something with my texture, my technique, how I do it, I don't know. But it was an epic fail. So I start washing it off with, I'm going to do it all over again. And then I burst into tears because I'm just like, can anything go right today? And then I go to get out of my bean bag and searing pain. I literally roll out of my bag, my bean bag, like a sack of potatoes on the floor, and lay there crying like a freaking 2-year-old. Like, just, I mean, I went to dig out primers to do this video, and the whole container, I just had it in my hand, and for some reason, I just dropped it, and there they went all over the floor. It's just the kind of damage. And I don't like missing work. I love my job, and I know that they need, you know, it's. I think it's probably easier on them if people miss opens than closes, because there's just things you have to do to close. So I'm feeling like crap about that. And then I decided to go get the stuff to do my own full set of nails. And yeah, this has been a learning curve. I think I did Julianne's and hers. She's only lost one. But yeah, mine have been kind of an epic fail. I've been breaking one like every other day, if not 2. So at least I have the stuff to repair them. But look at my pinky. Gonna have to fix that tonight. And this one hasn't even been on very long. I don't know. Obviously what I learned 20 years ago, maybe some of that has faded from my memory. But gosh darn it, I'm gonna keep at it, because I bought the stuff that is gonna save me a lot of money in the long run. But yeah, so if any of you have any suggestions about what to do about sciatic nerve pain, I would be very receptive to that, because it's leveled me on a day off. This is, I think, the 3rd day I've missed of work, because it immobilizes you. And then I went to the doctor a week ago, Wednesday, and told her about it, and she gave me a muscle relaxer. But then she says, people take it before bed because it helps them sleep, because, you know, so the pain doesn't keep you up. But you can't drive if you take it, and you should probably just go to bed. And I'm thinking, well, how in the heck is that going to help me? Then I still can't go to work. So all you've done is you've helped the pain, but you've knocked me out. I can't go anywhere because I can't drive. And if I'm not safe to drive, I highly doubt I'm safe to work. So even if I got a ride, so I'm thinking, okay, well, I guess that solved part of the problem, but I still don't want to miss work because of back pain. So I don't know if it's just getting older, or I need to strengthen my back, or I probably need to lose a few pounds, of course. But anyways, so that's the latest that's been going on. But now I'm finally feeling better. And here, we have this beautiful sunny day here in the 50s, and I'm laying in bed, like, whatever. I'm missing work. And then Jed's all, you know, worried about me and everything. And then, of course, that's a whole day's pay, too, so it's not fun. But anyways, enough of my blithering. Face primers. I brought out a few of my favorites. They're basically something, I'll show you probably one of my all-time. This is a sample tube, but it's little, so I thought it would fit better in the video. The Pores No More by Dr. Brandt. And what you do is, this is your last step before you put on foundation, whether it's liquid, cream, powder, whatever kind of foundation it is. This is your last step. And I'll just, since I have a bare face, because of course I had washed what I did earlier off and started crying because I'm just like, I don't know. It's just those days. Some days I laugh hysterically. Like, if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. Like, what is the next thing that's going to go wrong? And then some days I don't laugh. I just cry. So anyways, I'll just show you. This is kind of a good spot in the light, and I've got my beauty mark here, and you can kind of see some maybe a little uneven texture and some shine. But I'll just put this on here and let you see for yourself. See how it kind of just blurred? You see that? And I tell you, it feels like silk. trying to describe the texture of this, a girl at work tried it because I recommend it to a lot of people. It's expensive, but it's good. And my dry skin can handle it. But she was saying she put it on her hand and it dried out her hand. And I was like, the tester at work must be old or something, because if my dry skin can handle this, anybody can. But, I mean, it feels, the slip just feels in your pores. Kind of helps with lines. But it's $45 for a 1 ounce tube. I think I've talked about that in another video, but I'm going to talk about some others that are a little more affordable. There's this new gripping primer by Cover Effects. I just got a little sample in one of our little Clinique jars because they're like $40, I think. And it's called a gripping primer. It's like a jelly, like a clear jelly texture. And I kept hearing people rave about it, and I'm like, well, I don't know if my skin type can handle it because I'm dry, but I gotta try it because they say to keep rubbing it in until it gets literally tacky, like sticky. So I was like, okay, and gosh darn it, this stuff, talk about gripping, your makeup will not move all day, and I mean all day, like a 16-hour day. Nothing, because I usually will notice some, well, I'll get obviously some transfer on my lab coat, and like if you rub your nose, or you're a chin toucher, or when you eat, you know, or if you're one to sit like this, or whatever, your makeup will start to break up, and maybe rub off, or transfer throughout the day. It's just kind of natural, normal. With that stuff, what I noticed was, yeah, no, a very little bit still happened, but not near what normally, if I have a runny nose day or whatever, not near what usually might, and I'm pretty good at making my makeup last a long time and not do that, and it still was even better. And it didn't seem to bug my dry skin. I did very, very, very make sure I was very well moisturized before I used it, but I do that with anything. So that's a good one. And then I also got a small size of the Urban Decay. It's the Optical Illusion primer, complexion primer. This stuff's awesome. I didn't put that sticky one on because it literally feels like, I'm trying to compare, sticky. You know, this one I can leave on. You wouldn't go outside with just this gripping from Cover Effect by itself, because you look like you have shiny, sticky jelly on your face, maybe. Or at least your face would feel really tacky and it would bug you. This you could just put on by itself for, you know, softer, smoother looking skin and fill in your pores, and wear it by itself. You wouldn't have to put foundation over it. Same with this one. This one's got a really neat texture too. A lot of the girls at work like this one, this Urban Decay one. Let's see, where can I put, I'll just put it in here. Oh, it's probably a lot more than I needed, but this one has a neat, I will say, if you're at all sensitive and you know for a fact that you have a problem with dimethicone or silicone products breaking you out, you'll definitely have to look for a primer that's dimethicone silicone free, because most of them have that. But it's just, and it's so soft. Put it in all your little lines, and my nose is running, of course. When is my nose not running? Ugh. Now it's spring, so my allergies are going to get even worse. But, I mean, my skin feels like a baby's butt. It is really. So, of course, the nicer the surface your skin, the better your makeup's going to look, because there's less texture. You can cover up all the sunspots in the world if they're flat and smooth, but anything that you have, like pores, scarring, blemishes, whatever, that has texture, that it's raised, it's really hard to cover that, because you can see dimension, you know, things sticking out of your skin or whatever. So using a primer really helps to kind of level the playing field, so to speak. And and really help the longevity and the grip and the staying power of your foundation. So that's another one I really like. I'm using up these two. I think I'm actually going to throw this Clinique one away. I think it's dried up. It's the Pore Refining Solutions Instant Perfector. I don't think they necessarily designed this to be a foundation primer, but I had heard about it on YouTube a couple of years ago, and some people were just raving about it. So I had picked it up, and let me tell you, these little tubes, they seem so tiny, but you need so little for your face, because you just put it where you need it. I mean, obviously, if your whole face has large pores, you're going to use more than a woman that. But look, it comes out like a little, it's like a little snake. Yeah. But I was looking at the tester at work, and it didn't, so I think mine's dried out. Darn it. But this one is really, I'm still going to use it just to show you, if you can tell. I'm a little dry though, and this one, I'd say if you're oily, you probably really like the Clinique one. Because again, it's a little drier. It's still really soft. Mine's dried out though, so I wonder if I got a new one in gratis, if it would feel better. But it's a good one for a really reasonable price. But yes, I think we're going to say bye-bye to her because she's getting old. And of course, do you think if I had a gun to my head, I could make a basket into a garbage can sitting literally 1.5 feet away from me and get it in there? No, no. Again, the day I'm having. This is the best part of my day right now, talking to you guys and making this video. So this is a Lancome one. Of course, I can't get the cap off. Oh, there we go. So I bought this before I even worked for Lancome. It's the Le Base Pro. And it's the pore eraser one. This one I'm trying to use up too. I hardly have any, but this is a good one. A little more expensive, but again, you need so little. I wonder if this one's dried up. I might be throwing this one away too. Oh no, that one looks... So if you're curious about, does that kind of show texture? Trying to figure out how to show you. It's creamy with a slip because it's got that dimethicone silicone feel to it. I don't know the chemistry. I don't know how they do it. But it's just lovely, and it fills in your pores and fine lines. And they make ones, you know, for oily skin. And there's just, and if you want like a radiant, like a dewy look, like a luminous look, almost like with a sheen, they make primers that give that kind of finish. And then of course I have my Smashbox. There's a little one again that I got, I think is a freebie. The primer water, if I use a sponge, I use this. I've talked about this in another video too, instead of water, because I just think it works better. It just does more for you than just plain water. There's something in this stuff. I don't know. It's magic. I got some stuff I have to use up, so I won't be purchasing that again when I run out. I hope I don't miss it enough because I have so much here I need to use up for face sprays that I don't want to buy anymore. I got this little Tarte Rainforest of the Sea 4-in-1 setting mist. I'm going to try that little sucker out. And of course I showed you my Clinique. I really like this, and I've sold a couple of these at work, and I don't think they were really selling, but I've noticed I can use it before. If you're a dry skin girl, I'd say pick one up, because it just has multiple uses. It has no scent, thank goodness. So because I don't want something smelly on my face that I'm going to smell all day. Gross. And I don't know what Urban Decay did to their setting sprays, but they used to smell just like normal, refreshing, light. Now I swear they smell like paint thinner or paint or something. It's just disgusting. I do like the B6 one. I do feel it says firming on it. And I've used it a couple times at work, and I feel like it is a little tightening. So I'm contemplating that one, but I have to use up. So anyways, I use this whenever I'm dry. It seems to be soothing if I'm irritated at all. I use it under makeup, over makeup, throughout the day. It's lovely. And I mean, since I started using it, look, you can kind of see where I'm at. It's going fast. And this is a 4.2 ounce bottle, so this isn't too tiny. But I'm like, it almost sucks when you like something a lot, because then you use it, but then you run out of it. Ugh. And then I got this one for a freebie from that training. I never finished telling you about this other. They had sent me to what was called a round robin. It was basically like speed dating, except with cosmetics vendors, and you spent 10 minutes at each, and there were 10 stations, and there were 5 people in each group, so you'd rotate after 10 minutes, and every vendor had free gifts for you and gratis and whatever, and this was one of them. And they gave it to me kind of to congratulate me on my promotion to Clinique. So, and only 3 people from each store can go, and I got the impression it was just managers. So I felt really flattered that they invited me, and I had a blast. We were there about 3 hours. A ton of like breakfast food they brought, and coffee and pastries and fruit and all this stuff. And then I left with like a whopping shopping bag, like full, like practically heavy. And well, this is one of the things. Lit Mist Illuminating Setting Spray. I have not tried this yet. I wonder what the sprayer's like. Oh, that smells lovely. Blue light defense. Okay, so that's another thing that's starting to come out now. They have noticed that people sitting in front of a computer or whatever all day for work, for a living, that blue light that's emanating is breaking down people's skin and their eyes. And Pure has come out with this new Pure blue light protection stuff, like this mist for your face. There was some makeup, some skincare, to some kind of barrier they've developed to protect you against that blue light from computers and stuff. I've also seen they're coming out with the blue light glasses. They look like clear lenses for the most part, but they're supposed to keep out something with the blue light. I don't know. But anyways, this is one of those products. So I don't find myself, at least right now anyway, staring at a computer all day, and haven't for a long time. So I'm not too worried about it, I guess, but I think that's neat for people who do. I always kind of wondered about like that, like what are we going to find in the future, like 40, 50 years ago, that all this technology that we've been doing is going to end up doing. I just get curious. And then what else do I have? Oh, I have the Pixi, and then I hope this isn't too old, because I've been meaning to use this more now that I'm dry. Nourishing, Hydrating, Protective Glow Mist with propolis and argan oil. And now that I'm drier, what's this spray like? Oh, that's not too bad. Does it smell like it's gone off? I've had this a while. Not too bad. I might try it a couple times and see if it's okay. If not, I'll check it. But I've heard a lot of good reviews on this for people makeup setting spray if they're dry. So I have that. And then, of course, I've been using my MAC Fix Plus, which I've bought for years. I always have a bottle of this on hand. It's one of those products where I don't necessarily use it, but I have my phases where I'll use it a lot, and then I won't use it, and then I'll use it a lot. But it's good for wetting your brush, for putting shadow on wet. It's, again, another multi-purpose. They never even meant this to be a makeup setting spray. I use it as when I'm all done with powder products. Now that I'm dry, it really helps to settle down the powdery look, make it look more like skin, and help my dry skin. So I've been using it again, and of course going through it quickly. But I'm gonna try not to buy anymore, like I said, till I use up all that stuff. So there's like a setting mist little thing too, but I'm already at 24 minutes. So thank you for listening. Oh my gosh, what a day. I'm just glad I can move. I'm just so mad because I blew out my hair nice and straight yesterday. I exfoliated my skin, really worked on my skin. You know, sometimes I do that before the weekend just to make sure my makeup will look its best. My hair, which I need my roots done, but my hair will look polished and fresh and clean. And, you know, so I did all that yesterday thinking, you know, I could get up today, just put, you know, brush it, put a little oil in the ends and do my makeup and, you know, be good to go. Foiled again. So, anyways, But I did meet with that lady from State Farm, and we sat at a coffee shop and talked for 2 hours the other day. And I gotta say, I am so on the fence, I do not know what to do. Do I want to make more money? Yes. Do I want more hours? Yes. But I am petrified of A, breaking my cardinal rule about working for a woman again. B, being absolutely miserable and working for a control freak again. C, Jed Googled what the average captive insurance agent makes in the state of Minnesota, and it's in the $45,000 range. I'm sorry, but if I'm going to be that poor, I'll keep selling makeup. I mean, that is not near what I was used to making before. And you work your butt off when you're selling insurance. I mean, it's like anything. But even, I mean, she wants at least 30 cold calls a day. Every day. That's 150 cold calls a week. I don't want to starve and be basically a glorified telemarketer. So I have to think about this. She will have better benefits than the other woman, it sounds like. It's in Richfield, so it's not far from home. She seemed like a really neat lady. But again, the hubris of the young. She looked like she was in her early 30s. At least she had a kid, so she had that going for her. The other one hated children, you could tell, and could give two craps about my two stepchildren, and that just used to bug me to no end. I mean, literally, I could probably have told her that a bus ran over one of them, and she'd have been like, meh. I mean, I swear sometimes I thought she was a sociopath. I mean, this woman kind of scarred me. She kind of scared me. I remember she said once, I was talking about poor Colin's tooth, when I had to take him to the emergency dentist over a lunch hour, and she's like, who's Colin? Oh, I'm sorry, it's only my fiance's minor child that lives in my home. Wow, you just really don't care about your employees' lives outside of work, like, at all. Like, she was never listening, absorbing, didn't care, didn't ask, did not give two craps about me or Amy's personal life outside of work. Literally, one of us got run over by a bus. She would have slept like a baby that night. She would care less, sociopath, I swear. People like that, yeah. So needless to say, yeah, I'm a little gun shy. And I told her, I was pretty frank with this lady the other day. I told her about a lot of this stuff that happened. And told her about my selling philosophy and told her I wanted to be left alone and I didn't want to be micromanaged and I don't need to be babysat and I'm not an entry-level person coming out of college at 22 years old, wet behind the ears, not knowing what the heck they're doing. That, if I'm selling, leave me alone. I basically came out and said that. And if I have to leave early because of a kid thing or a family thing, I don't want to get the 3rd degree and be treated like a kindergartner. And if I get back a little late from lunch because Colin split a tooth on a tortilla chip, I don't want to get written up for it. Crap like that where I'm an adult. I'm a grown woman. I'm 45 years old. I'm not 18. I don't want to be treated like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to punch a clock and all that crap. My God, I've done my time. I don't need that. So I was pretty, direct and just honest with her. I was nice about it and everything, but basically, like, I'm putting it all out there. Like, this is, if you want somebody you think you're going to hover over and put on some strict, your way or the highway, your kind of selling structure and philosophy, and I have to do exactly this way at this time, this many times, blah, 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 because you believe it works to sell insurance, then I'm not the girl for you. Because I will not, no. So she said at the end of it, though, she was like, so what would you like to do next? Do you want to meet again? Do you want me to make you an offer? And I was like, I thought we were just meeting to chat. I should have known when I showed up, it was a gorgeous day, our first gorgeous day here in like forever, and I wore sandals and capris and just like a blue button down. She had a full-on suit. I was like, uh-oh, she considered this an interview. I didn't. We never used the word interview. It was just a meet to get to know each other, chit-chat. Here she is with books and notebooks and a laptop and a full black suit on, and I'm like, crap, okay, well, I'm here. It's too late now. I guess if she hates the impression I just made, oops. But no, at the end of the 2 hours, she basically asked if I wanted her to make me a job offer. And I'm like, I go, well, I'm going to marinate on this. I want to talk this over with my husband and my mom because I run everything by my mother. And yeah, we can chat next week. And then I told her too, I'm going, I want to meet your office assistant because had I had the chance to meet the other crazy in the office with the last experience, I never would have taken the job. She was nuts, and I mean nuts. Those people, one day she's normal and sweet and cool and funny, and the next day I am just like, what planet are you from? She had some weird social dysfunction. I swear she borderline sexually harassed Catherine. She'd always make comments about her butt. I mean, Catherine would just be like, what is wrong with you? I mean, I tell you, I could write a book on my 3-month experience in that office. So needless to say, I want to meet this one first. And I told her why. I go, because I want to make sure she's not crazy. And I want to see the office, and I want to make sure that logistically we're not in a tiny space and we're not on top of each other. And she did show me the plans, the architectural, the design plans for the space, and everybody will have their own office, and it did have like a waiting room and a receptionist desk, and we were going to have our own restrooms. I thought that was really nice. I told her I had to go down to the hall at the last insurance agency to share the bathroom with the vet clinic that was next door. And she was like, ew. I'm like, yeah. And it didn't dawn on me at the time either that I'm really allergic to all cats and about 95% of dogs. And I kept wondering why I was going to work every day and I would have these sneezing fits. And then, it dawned on me. Next door is a vet clinic. Like, literally, we shared a ventilation system, HVAC. We're literally next door in the same building. So that's another thing. She did tell me that either we're on top of, or someone, I think we're on top of a Mexican place. And this is where she impressed me. She did go so far as to really stress and reiterate and expect and demand separate ventilation so that her office wouldn't smell like tacos every day. And I was like, kudos to you. I'm glad you thought about that because, the last one didn't think about the pet dander issue and the dust that was constantly coming over from the antique dealer next door. These are little things you learn in life, and you'd only learn them by going through them. So yeah, I'd want to see the location, what's going to be my office, meet the office assistant. I also want to take a look at this book of business of hers. I did ask her about how it was segmented and how much commercial, and she's not going to have much. Thank goodness. The last one, she was so wanting commercial business, and I'm just like, why? Let somebody else who's a commercial person handle it. We need to make paychecks. Like, worry about the big business stuff when we've got more of an established book going. Commercial stuff takes forever. It's complicated, it's complex, it's huge, it's a lot of hand-holding. You're talking about a lot of money and a lot of details and a lot of paperwork and a lot of waiting around. In the meantime, we have mortgages to pay. Like, worry about that stuff down the road. When we're making plenty of money and you got money rolling in and we got a pipeline started, then you can start going after the business, Catherine, and getting the big stuff. I mean, come on. So I asked this lady about that, and she's like, oh, the book we're getting is getting broken up, but no, I'm not getting much of it. I'm getting some, but not much, and I don't plan on, at this point, pursuing. And I'm like, thank God. Okay, that's one thing I definitely wanted to hear. But so, yeah, we talked about a lot, so we'll see. But the thing is, she's like, why do you want to leave Ulta? And I go, I don't want to leave Ulta. I don't plan to leave Ulta. And she's like, well, how do you think it's going to interfere? And I was like, I don't see how it would. I mean, I would obviously talk to them if I decided to make this serious change at this point in my life with my career, and hoping that they'd want to keep me on 5 or 10 hours a week just so I could stay there and be with the girls and get my discount and what have you. Plus the extra money on the side obviously wouldn't hurt. I go, but I don't see how that would. So that question kind of had me a red flag a little bit, like, why in the world would my 5 or 10 hour a week side job affect? If I still need to meet clients on evenings and weekends, I can always schedule that around. So that question kind of had me like, okay. Because some people, you work for them and it's like they own you. I've had that too, where they like get jealous of your time and demanding of your time. And they don't want to share you with anybody. They don't want to share you with another job. They don't want to share you with another advisor. They don't want to share you with another coworker. They don't want to, you're theirs. You're theirs. And the minute something else is in your life, or you have to help somebody else or do something else for something else or somebody else, they got something to say. So I've gone through that before too. So I'm going to have to vet that out with her. But I do plan on talking with her again. I will touch base with her next week. And I will go so far as to meet the assistant and see the location and talk some more. And I just want to talk more logistics because, again, you know, these pie-in-the-sky dreams that these 30-somethings have, you know, when they're still in the idealistic stage of their life, that they're going to, you know, be this huge success and take over the world. And then it comes to reality, and things don't always go as you plan. And I've been through that too. And I've been in a line of work for a long time where I've had to anticipate problems. Because if I didn't and crap went wrong, someone would take a bad fall and they'd probably hate me and I'd look like the idiot because the assistant's always going to take all the crap. So I have the unique position and perspective of a lot of experience in that very subject. Kind of Murphy's Law person, expert practically. What can go wrong will go wrong. So that's kind of how I look at things now. Because if I'm going to leave a job that I love, that I committed a year to them, to Clinique. So if I'm going to go back on that, on my word, which I have had no plans on doing, and really still at this very moment don't plan on doing, unless she really changes my mind, this State Farm lady. If I'm going to go back on that, you're going to be damn sure I want that job and it sounds like exactly what I want, and I will stay there for a long time and be happy. And if I get any red flag whatsoever, I mean, there's always going to be some BS, and I told her this when we were talking. There's always BS in a job, always. There's always something you're going to go through, and sometimes it's horrendous and sometimes it's minor, but there's always something. I can handle business BS, work BS. But coworker BS, I can't. I'm too much of a heart on my sleeve kind of person. And can I handle it? Yes. Do I want to? No, not anymore at this point in my life. I've had to deal with too many commission jobs where people are trying to stab you in the back to steal a sale, and I've had to be a pit bull about it. And I don't like having to be like that. I don't want to. So if I can't get along with my coworkers and want to go to work every day feeling like I'm contributing and we're a team and we genuinely have each other's backs, we genuinely care about each other as people, and not just inside of work but outside of work. If I don't feel like my employer gives a shit about me, I don't want to work for them. And that's one thing I love about Ulta. I go in there and I feel like every person in there legitimately cares about every person in there. And most of the people in there are friends outside of work and are very good friends outside of work. And can still manage to work together, have a hierarchy, a power structure, and get along. So I feel that if that is possible in an extremely female-dominated environment, all-female environment, where you've got different ages, backgrounds, family issues, hormones, maturity levels, financial situations, different personal lives. Some have kids, some don't. Some are married, some don't. If you can have all of that going on and everybody get along and be friends and it's a peaceful work environment, I mean, for the vast majority of the time, then I think that that's possible anywhere. And I'm not going to settle for less than that again, anywhere. Not if I'm working my butt off doing cold calls and trying to sell, and I'm sorry, a very blue-collar demographic where it's going to be people that are not rolling in a ton of money. Probably an older demographic out there too that already have insurance. And if we're going to be working an existing book and they're already existing clients and have what they need and want and can't afford to buy any more other kinds of insurance, it's going to be challenging. And that's another thing I need to talk with her about. I need to take a look at this book. What's this demographic? Who are these people? How are their ages? Is it mostly men? Is it mostly women? Is it mostly couples? Is it retired people? Is it families? Is it kids? What are the age groups? What are the average incomes? What part of Richfield? Is it going to Bloomington, West Bloomington, Edina? I need to know all of this stuff. I need to know what I'm walking into and who the kind of people are that I'm trying to sell to. Because if it's an affluent area, it's easier. If you're going into an area that's not, it's going to be more difficult. And you have to have different tactics and you have to do things differently. And I need to know that going into this. So yeah, I've yammered on for 40 minutes. So I'm going to cut this off because as it is, it's probably going to take forever to upload. And since I've been having a crappy day anyways, how much you want to bet it's going to take me 16 times to try and upload this sucker before it finally goes on the YouTube? Oh, heavens. So anyways, let me know if you have any topic suggestions down below in the comments. Please subscribe, of course. I would very much appreciate it. I hope that answered any questions about foundation primers. I'm a primer believer. Some people aren't. I believe there's absolutely a use for them. And I would say if you have issues with oil, pores, or your foundation slipping off, invest in a primer. So having said that, I'm thinking for my next topics I'm going to go through different brands and name off my favorites in a brand. Take Estee Lauder and name off 1, 2, or 3 things, whatever, and then go to Clinique, and then go to Lancome, and then whatever else I have around here that I really like, my favorite brushes. I'm just going to start going through just different brands, like Morphe and MAC, and what else? Oh, Anastasia Beverly Hills and Too Faced, and just naming off my favorite things from different brands, so that if you want to dabble into a brand that you've heard about a lot, what might be a good first thing to start with, or 5 things or whatever. So let me know if you think that's a good idea. And yeah, hopefully my back stays okay. If I have to roll out of this thing like a sack of potatoes again and lay on the floor, I'm gonna be one unhappy girl, I tell ya. Yeah, so anywho, until next time, I hope you are doing well. I hope you're having a heck of a lot better day than I have had. And I will talk to you soon in my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.